shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris out on the Gold Wing. Out here with Jason and Radar, leaving a small town. What's the name of this place?
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I can't either.
Starts with a K.
Cucamonga? Man, it feels good out here. I'm showing 70. I'm showing 84 on the bike, but I'm sure it's gonna, drop a little bit once we start riding. But it feels good out here, man. Woo! I got the hot wired on as a windbreaker right now, but it feels good to be out on the Gold Wing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to make our way. I guess we're gonna make our way back to 55. Head back north toward Memphis.
Gonna turn here.
Tell you what, man, it's a good ride to get out here and ride the wing. Coming out of the wintertime, a lot of bikes are sitting up, but now is the time to get them out. Go ahead and take the cover off, knock some of the dust off. Go ahead and get the bike out, fire her up. I guess it just depends on where you live. We're down here in Mississippi, and it's Caliente hot right about now. I'm showing 74 degrees in front of the bike, 79 in the cockpit. I think it's supposed to be warm here for the next few days.
Yeah. It's warm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be warm here for the next few days. Now, Radar, you said you had a couple of Harleys you was telling me about?
Yeah, I had a 2013 and a 2014. They were both ultra-limited touring bikes.
Okay. Is that what you kind of started out on, is those Harleys?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How,
especially after we started kind of taking some extended trips.
Yeah. How did you like them?
At the time it was all I knew, and Harley Davidson makes a really good bike, but they are a lot heavier and noticeably more top heavy. I think primarily because of the way the engine is compared to the flat six that Honda makes, which sits down low.
Right.
But at the time I had never ridden a Gold Wing.
Right.
But it's like night and day, really, especially even standing the bike up from a kickstand. And the balance of the Gold Wing just feels a little better to me.
Right. So let me ask you this question. Now, when you were riding your Harley, I guess at that time, and you knew about the Gold Wing, were you the kind of rider, or maybe were you like a lot of the riders that maybe have this stereotype that the Honda Gold Wing is an old man bike and it's slow and it's not the kind of bike you would want to be riding on. At that time you was riding your Harley, were you kind of in that mindset like most a lot of Harley riders are?
Yeah, I was. I'd never ridden one, didn't know much about them, and basically thought, well, when I get a whole lot older, I might want to get one or try one out someday. But if I had known what I know about them now, I probably would have just went ahead and got one of these.
Yeah.
For my riding style. And again, don't get me wrong, I got a lot of friends that ride Harleys, and they're excellent bikes. But
right.
For me personally, I prefer the Gold Wing.
You like the Wing? And you know what? I think that, hey, Jason, we got an ambulance coming up. So
I'm going to see if I can get up here and get over a little. Right here, I'm going to get over right here.
Yeah, we'll pull over. Somebody may be having a situation. We're going to let him on by. All right, we good. Yeah, when you see an emergency vehicle coming, man, pull it to the right. A lot of people, I see you know, they don't pull to the right.
Nope.
So if you can, just pull to the right because you never know what those guys are responding to. You know, if it was your family member in there, you want to depart the Red Sea.
Yeah, that's right. But see, they don't think about that.
Yeah, they don't think about that, but
no.
So
what they're doing is more important than what that ambulance is doing.
Yeah, everybody trying to get to where they're going. So anytime you see an emergency vehicle, just pull to your right if it's safe to do so, and let them on by because you never know what they're responding to. But anyway, getting back to Radar and his Harley, you were saying if you'd have known now or then what you know now, you would have went on and got you a Gold Wing because the Gold Wing fits your riding style.
Yeah, it does. And then another thing I didn't realize is, seems like the service and maintenance is a little easier on the Gold Wing. It's certain things, the intervals are not as close together. Just a little less expensive to maintain, in my opinion.
You know what I think, Radar? I think that the Harley is a lifestyle more so than I think.
Definitely it is.
I think that, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that when a lot, and I'm not saying all, because I never like to put everybody in one box, but I think a lot of Harley riders, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? They're not to say you can't go touring on a Harley. Yes, you can. Can you ride East Coast on a Harley? Sure, you can. Could you have just as much fun on a Harley as you can a Gold Wing? Sure, you can. But I think a lot of riders, they like the Harley because it's American made.
Hey, there's excuse me, Chris. There's another emergency vehicle coming around.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're right. I didn't see him. Does he have a siren going? He just running lights.
I think he may be a volunteer fireman.
Okay, he needs to upgrade it. He needs to update his siren.
Man, that's like the Ghostbusters siren. Y'all hear that?
Yeah, he had.
That's like Echo One.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. I didn't even see him. I didn't even hear him.
I didn't either.
But you're right. It's a lifestyle, and Harley Davidson Corporation. I said this when I had one is probably one of the most successful comeback stories in America.
Right.
From the verge or at the point of filing bankruptcy, and the way they market not only their motorcycles but their clothing, their equipment, and everything. They've been very successful, and a lot of people are involved in that lifestyle, and they love it. And it's great that you can buy a motorcycle that's made in America, and the Harley Davidson motorcycle is a good bike. It's certainly much better than it was in the 70s or 80s before Harley took it back over from AMC.
Okay. When you look at these rallies, Sturgis and Daytona and all these bike rallies, all of those are geared around Harleys. They're not geared around Gold Wings. Gold Wing, we don't, what? No, it's about the Harley. It's about the lifestyle. And I think that's why Harley draws a very big, they have a very big fan base. So I used to be a Harley owner, so I know. I had an old joke that said HD stands for $100 because every time I went in there, I spent at least $100. So,
yeah.
And it was a good bike. I mean, it was a status symbol. And I'm not knocking anything about the Harley, because I own one. But I just like the Gold Wing because it's I can tour, low maintenance, not a lot of noise, easy on my body. I can ride all day and night and don't be tired. I know some Harley guys they trailer their bikes to the rallies, and I know some Gold Wing guys that do it. So I'm not knocking Harley, but for me, I can only speak for myself personally. Coming off of a Harley. The Gold Wing is it's more relaxing, it's more comfortable. I don't get tired. I get sleepy. Now that I do. The Gold Wing will rock you to sleep, but I don't get tired. I can ride from sun up to sundown, and I love it. I just think as you get older, your body can't take all of that beating. When you're young, you're young and strong, and you're loose and full of juice and ready to cut loose. I mean, you ready to go. But when you get older, your body don't, when it don't want to get shaken. It don't want to be shaken up a lot. That's why Mac ended up going to a gold wing. He's getting older. Mac is 72 or something. And, you know, the noise and the shaking. It's great when you're young. And like I say, my hat goes off to the lifestyle. Because 99% of most bike riders are geared around the Harley. So you can't knock what they got going on. They got it going on. I just like the gold wing because it's quiet, it's reliable.
Yeah.
And I don't get wore out. And I don't have to worry about somebody trying to steal my bike. You know, I saw one picture at a Harley rally where they took the guy's wheels off the bike. Not that they couldn't do that to a gold wing, but I mean.
But you know what I think Harley's done that Honda didn't do, that they've done right so far. You know, they're feeling growing pains just like everybody else with the upcoming younger people and the different tastes. Right. They come out with the electric bike, and they come out with a couple of smaller and mid-level models. But what they didn't do, they didn't take away their big touring bikes.
No.
They didn't take them and cut them down.
Right.
They left them like they were, and you know, I wish Honda had done the same thing.
Yeah, and Harley got more bikes. If you line their bikes up, they got way more bikes than Honda.
Sure.
You know, I can't even name all the Harleys that they got out there. But
well, you got to think Honda makes dirt bikes and four-wheelers and side-by-sides. And
well, that's true, too.
Boat engines, and they even make airplanes.
And cars.
And cars, yeah. So
you know, they got a lot going on, so.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, like I said, it doesn't matter what you ride. If you want to ride a Harley, ride a Harley.
Yeah.
If you want to ride a gold wing, ride a gold wing. I'll still ride with you. It doesn't matter to me.
But I tell you, I don't know why anybody would go out and buy a brand new Harley. When I went to the dealer last weekend and bought that new bike I got,
okay,
I went into the used. They got a whole building. It's just their used showroom, and they got several gold wings in there. They got a couple of trikes and some two-wheelers and a couple of pretty nice ones. They got a Can-Am Spider sitting in there. They got some crotch rockets. But right there in the middle of the floor, they've got probably 30 used Harleys sitting there. And I asked the guy about it, and he goes, "Man, that's just what we got sitting in here. We got a warehouse, because it's a big property. They've got, I don't know, they probably got half a dozen buildings on that property for different things, but they got one that's a warehouse." He said, "Man, we got another 30 or 40 in that warehouse over there that we've taken in on trade." And they had one sitting there that was a Street Glide Ultra, like the big touring bike, but it had the Street Glide, or not Street Glide, the Road Glide front end on it, the dual headlight.
Yeah, shark nose.
And man, you're talking about, this is almost a $35,000 bike. It's a 2019. It had 400 and something miles on it, not even 500 miles on it yet. And they had it sitting there for $24,000, maybe $24,500.
Right.
So almost $10,000 off sticker price, and it don't even have 500 miles on it yet.
Wow.
I mean, somebody looking for a good Harley, they had several of them like that. So I don't know why anybody goes out and buys a brand new Harley.
For a good deal on a Harley, contact Jason.
Yeah, I tell you what, I can sure hook you up, because they got a bunch. But you can find that. You find them online. You can find them just about any motorcycle dealer you go to. They got a bunch of nice used Harleys. Even the Harley dealer, Bumpus over there, man, they got a warehouse full of used Harleys.
You think the price difference compared to the used gold wings might be because there's a whole lot more used Harleys out there to pick from? Well, they may not hold their value as well.
Well, Harleys do hold their value. I mean, they hold, like say, if that was a gold wing, it would have been a lot more probably off the sticker. Of course, if you go buy a Harley, you're going to pay sticker price. They don't
pretty much. Yeah.
They don't come off sticker, so you're going to pay MSRP unless you've got a good dealer that's going to take something off for you. But most of the time, it's sticker price. But yeah, they had a beautiful gold wing sitting in there for $9,000. Only had 30,000 miles on it. Man, it's a beautiful bike, and that'd be a great bike for somebody to get.
Right.
But if I was in the market for a Harley, I can't see going and buying a new one when you can go get a used one with
Right.
1,000 miles or a couple thousand miles on it for, way off sticker.
Yeah, that's nearly 10,000 off probably.
Yeah, I mean,
it got less than 1,000 miles on it.
It was less than 500.
Less than 500. It's probably not even had its brake-in oil changed yet.
No.
You know what I think? In my personal opinion, I think all motorcycles are overpriced. I think you could buy a car for 20. You could buy a car for 20 grand, 4 doors, 4 tires, windshield, wipers, heater, air condition. A bench seat. A glass windshield. But a motorcycle, they give you a plastic windshield. You got 2 tires, 2 calipers. You got plastic pieces. I just think I think bikes are overpriced. Period. Harleys, Gold Wings, I think they're all overpriced. I think Harleys are really overpriced, but I think all bikes are just. I think they're overpriced. I think they trying to get as much as they can get, and I think the motorcycle. I think the motorcycle community is suffering, and I think Harley and Honda as well. I think they're suffering because bikes are overpriced, and the numbers keep going up, and salaries are not going up. People are still trying to make it, and I just think it hurts sales in all departments. But I agree with you, Jason. Why would you want to go spend that much money for a new one when you can get a used one? Sometimes if you can find a used one that's been taken care of and with low miles on it, it may be, but sometimes people, for whatever reasons may want it new. They may feel like I bought it new,
Yeah, and I understand that because I did the same thing. I mean, I could have bought a used Gold Wing for half the price of what I paid for this one new. So I guess, I did the same thing.
But when you look at the numbers, though, of a Harley, it's like, okay, well, I'd rather just get a used one, and it still would be cheaper than your brand new Gold Wing.
Yeah, because
it would be more expensive than your brand new Gold Wing.
Yeah, because no matter what model Harley you're looking at, a comparative model in a Japanese brand is going to be way less.
Right.
Even, new. But it all depends on what you want. And just like you said, it's a lifestyle, and everybody's into something different. And if their hobby is riding Harleys and being in that, then that's cool. That's that's what they're into. Just like I'm into this Gold Wing. Shoot. Well, I know that's just like of course Harley doesn't do it. Harley's got their own dealerships and everything else. But I remember back, when I was a kid. Suzuki had their own dealerships, Honda had their own dealerships, Yamaha, but now they're all, they're combined.
Integrated, yeah.
Yep,
that's true, Jason. I noticed that.
And as far as I know, I've never worked for a dealership, but just what I've talked to people that work, even car dealerships and motorcycle dealerships, that the money they make off a new bike sale is really not that much. They're hoping to make their money off accessories and service.
Service is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
But car dealers are the same way. Car dealers try and make all their money off, they want to make a lot of money off service.
Right.
I think Harley has either a 500 or 1,000 mile service, and then a 5,000. Anyway, they are proud of their service. Their prices are pretty good.
Everything.
Yeah. Now, when I had my Harley, I had a good salesman, and he gave me my first 2 services for free. So that was a big chunk off. I paid MSRP for the bike, but that was a big, that was a big expense that I saved.
Changing the oil on a Harley, a bigger Harley, is not the same as a Gold Wing. You have like 3 different areas that you've got to go in and do it, drain and refill. But compared to the GL 1800, which you just have a drain plug and 4 quarts oil?
Yep. 4
and
quarts oil and a filter. That's it.
Takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah. And that's another thing about these bikes, man. These bikes are so easy to work on, except for the air filter.
Yeah, the air filter.
Now, the air filter's not that bad once you do it, but the oil change, the brakes, the plugs, the service on the rear end, everything else is so easy. It really makes up for that air filter being like it is, kind of, to me.
You know, I was watching a YouTube channel the other day. Y'all may have already know about it, but I've never seen anybody do it. This guy went to Harbor Freight and got a snake camera, and he was running it up to the air vents down to the filter to see how the filter looked.
Yeah, they're doing that now. They're doing it at the dealership.
Oh, are they?
Look at the air filter. Yeah, they're able to stick it over into the air box to take a peek at your air filter to see how nasty it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure it's not got a rat's nest up in there too.
Mouse nest or something else.
Yeah.
Jason, did you go with the K? You went with a regular OEM filter, right?
Yeah, I just put the OEM filter back in there.
Okay. Yeah, I went with the K and N, and I think when it's time to change it again, I'm just gonna buy a new one.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Yeah, just buy a new one. I don't have to worry about trying to recharge. I may still recharge the old one, but I'll just buy a new one because it's not that much more expensive than a paper filter, and it's going to last 50. According to the paperwork, it's a 50,000 mile filter, which I wouldn't go that long on it, but I'll just buy a new filter and keep on rolling.
Yeah.
Chris, you changed yours last time. Have you just changed it once?
Yeah, I changed it. Yeah.
So now that you've done it and you know what to do, how long, compared to the original time, you think it would take you, or how much time would you save doing it a second time?
Got a rut in the road. I figure, I'm guessing it probably would take maybe at least an hour to get to it, and that's just, I wouldn't be rushing because you want to take your time trying to snap those pieces loose. I would probably give myself an hour and a half on either side, so about 3 hours if I was gonna do it. But if I'm gonna do my air filter, I'm not gonna start it and try to get through with it, as soon as I open it up. I'll probably leave it open for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just take my time. Matter of fact, I may just let it. But if time-wise, I can probably do it in 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. What you think, Jason?
Yeah, if I did it, I forget. I don't even remember now how long it took me when I did mine that first time, but I could do it in probably half that time.
Bump.
But yeah, probably 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just do it. Not good. Don't get in a hurry. Don't don't break nothing. Don't pull no plastic apart and break it. So, but
Hey.
it really wasn't that bad. If you can turn a wrench, then you can do it. I mean, it's.
Hey, Radar, did you see the video where I changed out the air filter?
I believe I did. It's been a while. And, I've watched not only yours, I've watched some others, but gosh, just thinking about it's kind of scary. I guess once you do it, it's not that bad. Once you realize, getting everything out it's just a matter of taking your time. But it's kind of scary to think about the first time.
Right.
It is. It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's intimidating, man.
But you just get in there and take time and do it. And that's people, which I didn't do it because there's really not that many bolts that come out.
Right.
But people take a piece of cardboard and they'll lay the bolts out and make sure they go back in the right places. But I've had the dash and these side covers off and stuff before.
Right.
So I had already been into all that and just had to take the center section out.
Right.
So it's really not that much.
Yeah, you kind of build. It's like Legos. You kind of build your way.
Yeah.
You get used to taking off the side panels. You get used to taking off the instrument cluster. You get used to removing the speaker grill, and you kind of build on it. So now you need to go farther. So now you know how to do that. It's not as intimidating. But if you've never done any of it, yes, it's very intimidating because you have no clue. You don't know which way to take the panel off. Like the side panels, they need to go from the bottom up. But if you never took the panels off, you wouldn't know that. And
my problem is every time I take something apart, put it back together, I always have parts left over.
Yeah, see, that ain't good. You don't want that.
Somebody else told me that. Who else told me that? Somebody else just recently told me that. I think it was. I forgot who was that. Was that Robert Hatch? Somebody told me that. They said, man, if I go into it, I come back out with extra parts.
you just look at those parts and you pray that none of them are important.
Right. It's like, I know these boats go somewhere. I got 6 extra boats.
Yeah, well, I've seen another thing where, people will forget to plug stuff back in, put it all back together, and you've done left something unplugged.
Yep. Oh my God.
That ain't no good either.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I put everything back together, right? And I don't know, a couple of months later, I went to open my glove box on the left side. The one sits in the middle where I have the Cub Caddy, and I went to turn my key to unlock it to let it open up. And when I turned the key, it wouldn't open. And I was like, man, did I forget to put the cable back? I started kind of second-guessing myself. And I got to thinking, I said, no, I put the cable back. I remember because I had to put everything back. But when I went back in there, the little cable stay jumped out of the little groove. So I had to snap it back in there. So, and of course it's plastic. But you just want to take your time, man, and you can do it if you've been into the going before. It's a lot easier. But if you haven't, watch my vid on it and just follow the steps. It's not that hard.
But you got a long time before.
Oh yeah.
The air filter's gonna need to change on that thing.
I would probably change it at 30,000 miles or something. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go past that.
Unless your bike sits outside and is in dusty conditions all the time, and you keep it in the garage, Radar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I probably would change it at 30,000 miles. I wouldn't even, because I think they recommended it. I think they recommended either 12 or 16,000.
Yeah, it's one or the other because the dealer did mine 2 or 3 times because I bought that service plan. So they did it 2 or 3 times before I did it.
They recommend it at around 12, but you probably wouldn't do it till about 30.
I think it's either 12 or 16,000. It might be 12,000 on the filter and 16 on the plug, or vice versa. But I would probably change mine at 30, maybe 25,000 or something. I wouldn't even.
Yeah,
I
think that's what I decided on when I pulled mine out. I don't remember how many miles mine had on it, but I think I decided I'm gonna do it every 25,000.
Yeah.
Because 12 or 16 is way too soon.
Yeah, it is. Okay, this is what we stopped at last time when I was with Lady Love and Humdinger. Stop here. Yeah.
Another thing I wish Honda would change on these bikes is the amount of time they give you for the signal light before it goes off.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
End up having to hit that thing 2 or 3 times sometimes when I'm approaching a turn.
I've looked up. You can disconnect that automatic cancel, but I just never did it. I thought about doing it.
It's a on-off setting on the newer Gold Wings, but you can do it on this one too.
No, you have to cut the wire on this one.
Oh, okay. On the 18 and up, there's now a setting you can disable automatic cancel.
Oh, okay.
And also, let me say this, sometimes these guys, when they switch over to the dark side, at some point their light may come on, and they wonder, why is my TP MS light is on. Mine did it. Now I'm running like 45. And here recently it came on and stayed on. I couldn't figure out why. Even after I cut the bike off, it stayed on when I cranked it back up. But I aired it up to like 50 PSI. And once I added up to 50 PSI, I think I rode it for a little bit or something, and then I let it back down to 45, and it took care of it. I just wanted to say that while I was thinking about it.
Yeah, because if you put too much air in it, does that activate it too? That make it come on?
I don't know about too much air, but I know if it gets I think below 20, I think it's 20%, it starts flashing.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the low pressure light, but the TMPS light just means that it's like a problem with the system.
Yeah.
And so I just aired mine up to 50 and rode it a little bit and let it back down to 45, and it was fine. It hadn't came back on.
Yeah, I saw where people were having problems with that, but the only thing I could think is, you know, if whoever put the tire on for them damaged the sensor, you know, because you got to be real careful with that
Yep.
thing.
But you know what though? People have problems out of that even with the regular motorcycle tires.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know,
I
like I
don't
said,
know.
man, I like my bike. I'm good with it. I'm just gonna ride this one as long as God allow me to keep riding it.
I think I think Hondas just do it every 8,000 miles. I do mine every 4,000 miles. I
Yeah.
just do it, you know.
You running full synthetic, Jason, or you just running
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I got the Mobile One stuff in there.
Okay. Hey, Radar, if you get tired and need to stop, just let us know, man. We got no problem pulling over.
I'm good. Yeah, on the new Gold Wings, there's nothing really that's according to the service manual to do until 4,000 miles.
The new
I think 4,000 is the first oil change, and then just checking some stuff.
Right. You know, I've heard some dealers say that, the break-in oil, change it at 500 miles for the break-in oil. But that's not in the book. It's not in the
Yeah, I don't think that's
not in
correct.
the manual.
Now, on the Harleys, they do recommend, I think it's either 500 or 1,000. You're supposed to have the first oil change and then a bunch of stuff adjusted. But
Right.
the Gold Wing, according to the service manual, you don't do anything until the first 4,000 miles.
Right.
But you get these guys on some of these forums, saying, well, you need to do this and that. Well, that's a lot of that's just opinion,
Right. Because when I bought my 2014, they told me, they said, you need to do the, 500 miles break-in oil change. But I said, well, it's not in the book. He said, well, yeah, it's not in the book, but you need to do it. I'm thinking, so I let them do it, but when I bought this bike, I didn't do it. That's not what's in the book. So I figured something happened. They're going to have to honor the warranty because it's not in the book.